In this method, the alphabet has been divided into 3 categories: ups, downs, and slides. The student then identifies the sound that comes before the R and places the sound into one of 3 categories. This allows them to critically analyze if the sound qualifies as an up, down, or slide sound. Once the student has been able to identify the sound before the R, they can continue to plan the movement and execute production. Here is an example of word analysis. Many students struggle with saying the word girl. I is the letter that comes before the R in the spelling of the word girl. However, the sound of I is not heard when articulating the word. The sound that is heard before R is the sound for G, G. The student then critically analyzes if the sound qualifies as an up, down, or slide sound. Next, the student will plan the correct tongue placement, movement, and execute the production. The student will decide on the correct color coding depending on the sound before the R. Since the sound for G is in the up category and there is only one R in the word, the entire word will be highlighted in one color, pink. This will aid the student to remember that girl is an up word based on the color coding and will remember the correct motor planning. Analyzing needs to take place during every therapy session. This program is simple to teach and easy for the students to learn. For students who have difficulty with articulation, elevation, co-articulation, the manual provides extra guidance on how to address these issues. Students who struggle in these areas often need support identifying the muscle movements necessary to produce the R sound, as well as strengthening these muscles utilized when correctly producing the R sound. There are 3 muscles that aid in swallowing and articulation: the genioglossus, the styloglossus, and the hyoglossus muscles. Hi, Jacob.
Hello.
Good morning. Today we're going to do thumb exercises. If you remember how to do these, I'm going to ask you to demonstrate this for me. I know at this point in time you are perfect with this. You know how to do it, and there's no problem. However, I like to show this exercise along with listen for a match so that we can teach other therapists. Okay? What is the first thing we do when we make a thumb exercise?
We put our thumb on our chin.
Thumb on our chin on the bony part. And then what do?
Slide it back.
And do what?
We go, we push up and it goes,
Good. Now, what do? We swallow first, right? To find where the placement is for the R, correct? For our thumb. All right, now, what I'd like you to do is make it for me. Erla.
Erla.
Can you do it again?
Erla.
Good. Cup your tongue in an up and ready position and say Erla.
Erla.
Very good. Let's do early.
Early.
Erlo.
Erlo.
Erlu.
Erlu.
Excellent. Perfect. This is a story called The Worst Worm in the World. Many students have difficulty with the words worst, worm, and world. When you explain to the student that the W sound is in the up category and your tongue tip is not needed to produce the W sound, they can place their tongue in the correct up and ready position for R before they articulate the sound for W. This becomes very easy for the students and they meet success for words that they thought were difficult. In the title, the letter O comes before R in the word worst, worm, and world. However, the O is not the sound that is heard. The sound of W made by the letter W is the sound that is heard in all 3 words: worst, worm, and world. Instruct your students to put their tongue up for R before they make the sound for W. Worst, worm, world. Your students will then highlight worst, worm, and world in pink because the sound for W is in the up category. Once there was a worm. You see the E in the word there before the R. However, the sound that we hear is A, there. A is a vowel. It is in the down category. Instruct your students to highlight there in blue.